Hello and welcome, PaleriderTV, coming to you live on the PaleriderTV studios in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida. Oh yeah, yeah. Still fighting a little bit of this cold I've had for the last 2 weeks. I think it's about gone. A little bit of a cough. Don't have a runny nose anymore. Of course, I got my clear nose strip on. If you can see that, helps me breathe a lot better. No runny nose. And yeah, so here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Let's go over here. Comments. Got some peeps in here already. Flatbed trucker. What's up, Brian Peterson? Where's Daniel? I don't know. I ain't heard or seen from Daniel. He don't call on. He don't come on to comment on the live streams. He don't comment on the regular videos anymore, or nothing. Don't know. I guess most everybody has forgotten about me. I guess they didn't get the memo. What a great day, Flatbed Trucker. Coffee time, always. Always coffee time. Whereas everybody used to have like 30. I know them days are probably gone for a while. Hopefully we'll get those back. Rob, I thought this channel was closed. It was. I did shut it down for a while. I went in retirement. I said, well, I'm probably going to, coming out of retirement, but at the time I was kind of frustrated, flustered, and said, no, I got another channel. I was going to spend a lot more time on my other channel than this one, but this is the roots. So, plus all this, I said, if anything big breaks in the trucking industry, as far as news wise, I might come out of retirement. So, the thing with the illegal driver down here in Florida did the illegal U-turn, killed 3 people after that. That and some other stories started coming out. I said, I'm going to come out of retirement and start reporting on this stuff. So here we are. We are back again. So I've been putting out some videos. You see the one I uploaded earlier today about the Lowe's tanker trucks. I don't need no wrecker. Sinus infection, that's probably what I had. Right, probably a sinus infection. Daniel ghosted me? Probably so. You watch the other channel too? Yeah, I uploaded one there. Was it yesterday? I think. Out to Arkansas State Troopers throwing trash into the Arkansas River. And yeah, busted on camera. Yeah, I know. Charlie Kirk. Yeah, he got shot yesterday. Sad. Crazy what's going on. I don't know. They really haven't found the guy yet. They don't know who he is. It's just a matter of time, I guess, where they get him. I hope they capture him alive. I hope they don't kill him before they capture him. Maybe we can find out what's going on, who's behind everything. A lot of people jump to conclusions. I'm not going to say a whole lot till we get more news about what really happened. But it's crazy. So it's sad. I always liked Charlie Kirk. Never had any issues with him. I like just watch some of the videos. You always see him on the pop up on the shorts and on TikTok and stuff. So it's sad that he gets silenced for that. I mean, it's crazy. Any news on the trucker that's behind bars? Which one? You talking about the one down here in Florida? As far as I know, he's still behind bars. I think the judge gave him no bond. No bond. Well, that's the one where don't know the whole story about why they didn't put him in jail right then and there in Virginia. I don't know what happened about that one. But this one here in Florida, he left, went back to California. I guess Florida sent the marshals out there to arrest him, put him in jail, and Lieutenant Governor himself from Florida here went out and brought him back to Florida, escorting him back to Florida. So I'm not sure about a trucker behind bars in Virginia. Which one are you talking about? Mark State, the PDF file guy. As far as I know, he's still there. He's going to be there till probably they carry him out in a box. Yeah, Mark State. Yeah, as far as I know, I haven't heard anything. I don't know if he is, you know, unalived him or anything while he's in there. I haven't heard any news about that. I haven't really checked on it. He's gone either way, so we don't have to worry about him no more. That's a crazy story, man. Who'd have thought? I met that dude several times at the truck shows and stuff, and he had some pretty good informative videos, about new drivers and stuff, which I wasn't a big fan of his YouTube channel, but he was good for new people coming in. He get into the numbers and all that stuff. So he had what bad. And all that stuff that happened. I don't know if y'all before y'all's time, but back in the early YouTube days when he was training that dude Weingarner and all that stuff went down. That was pretty crazy. They get old Ike on here one day and relive that story. We've done it a couple times in the past, but it's always good to relive some stories. Who'd have thought Mark State was into all that stuff? You just never know about people, man. I mean, he had a wife and a nice house and everything. He do videos from his back porch, and he had a nice spread up there. And he was into scuba diving. He'd take time off and go scuba diving and all that stuff. And you just don't know about people, man. And all that started coming to light, and wow. Wow, wow, wow. Crazy stuff. Maybe I'll Google his name later to see if there's any news about him. But as far as I know, he's going to be in there for a long time. I think he got 20 years or something. And he's in his late 50s, I think. So he probably, if he does get out of prison, he's going to be an old man if he makes it. So that's it about him. But I seen a story, I think Bonehead Truckers Ike did about the Kenyan truck drivers coming over here. A trucking company out of Nebraska. So everybody assumed it was Werner. I think Werner was kind of involved at first, but they pulled out of it. But now they are facing doing damage control. Social media is wearing Werner Enterprises out. But I think there's another company that doing the Kenyan Grand Isle Express or something. And what? It says you're back at work with a dude whose brother was a legit serial killer. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. 7 or 80 when he gets out. Yeah, probably if he gets out. I don't know. He might not make it out of there. I just can't imagine why do people think? I mean, you hear it all the time. People getting arrested for having this stuff on their computer or on their phones, and They're trying to get up with underage people, and they don't read the news stories about people always getting arrested for that constantly, getting set up and getting caught. And they still do it. They had one here in Jacksonville a while back. Busted a bunch of people, a dozen or so for that. Child trafficking and all kinds of weird stuff, man. And what the heck? They still do it. Most of them are doing it, online and get set up by the cops. And they going to meet these youngsters they thought, and couldn't find out they getting arrested right then and there. So they still do it. You're going to get caught. That's all there is to it. And they act surprised as they got caught. What? I can imagine getting the news. They caught him while we working together. He acted surprised. I imagine getting the news that your brother was arrested for multiple murders, serial killer type murders. Yeah. Hey, Ryder. Hold on. You know the Polk County Sheriff? Yeah, you talking about old Papa Judd. He's quite loved in this state. Everybody thinks, yeah, Papa Judd. A couple of us call him Papa Judd. He comes up with these stories you hear from your grandpa. He's kind of nobody wants to dig into his past or anything, but he admitted himself that back before he officially became a cop, back in his younger days, that he would go around with a gun and a badge and handcuffs, and he apparently arrested a couple people when he wasn't even certified to be a law enforcement officer. Nobody brings that up. And another thing is he does not believe in transparency because he will not. He refuses to equip his deputies with body cams. No transparency whatsoever. So say what you want about him. Yeah, he's a tough sheriff, but it's the way he goes about it. He's kind of a shady way of doing it. So that's my opinion. And some of this is crazy. Good old Papa Judd. I agree. Robert, yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's well loved in the state of Florida by many, but they just see him for they don't check into the other stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing about Florida. They had a law on the books here in Florida, no open carry. Not anymore. That law is no more. So it don't take effect till like September 26th. But a lot of the county sheriffs here in Florida are not going to enforce it anymore. Especially Duval County, where I live, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, they're not going to do it. Clay County, St. Johns County, all the counties surrounding Duval County here, none of the sheriffs are going to enforce the law anymore. So open carry in Florida, the law has been, I guess they call it repealed because it was found to be unconstitutional. So yeah, big win for Florida. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start go shopping. Yeah, I'm gonna go shopping. But they did have a you could well they did have a law. You had to if you wanted to conceal carry, you had to have a license to conceal carry. But they even did away with that a couple months ago. No more permit required for concealed carry. You could carry it concealed without a permit. But now this open carry, that's pretty wild. So pretty good deal. I'll get back to Werner. If you're moving back to Arkansas, I doubt it very seriously. It's been talked about a few times. Maybe going back, I don't know. We might not. Right now, the chances aren't looking too good, but I miss old Arkansas. I miss my little town there. I used to go to, I was into the local government there in town, and I miss going to the city council meetings. And when the mayor walks up to you and says, "How you doing?" and a couple of the council members know you by first name. "How you doing? How you doing?" Here in Jacksonville, it's like a major city, and all the other people that run the city and the mayor and all that, they don't know you from beans. They don't care about you for beans. And I haven't been to a city council meeting here yet, but I'm gonna get to one because the other night they had a city council meeting here in Jacksonville. Man, it went on for like 7 hours. Just people, council members, just talking crap about each other. They're just trying to pass this bill, spending bill here, budget, whatever, in town, and conservatives are for it or for parts of it, not some parts. The Democrat side are for some parts, not other parts, and it's crazy. So they were not duking it out, but they were debating it out on at the meeting the other night. The city here's so big, you just it's not. I miss that small town atmosphere there in Arkansas. We knew everybody, and not everybody, but who was who and all that stuff. Yeah, I had a couple times there when I lived in Arkansas and get a ride to the city council meeting and didn't have a way back home. I could walk. Didn't mind walking. It was about a mile or so, but I always had my video camera, so I used to just walk home and try to get some videos or something. But city council member there, that was my city councilman from my district, Cabot. He was he gave me ride homes. He said, "Hey, KP Law News." That's my other channel name, in case you're wondering. KP Law News, Florida, and he'd say, "You want to ride home? Yeah, come on, let's go." He even ride home. I said, "Yeah." But now they have got a whole new place where they do the city council meetings. They moved the city hall to another building. The police department was down in the basement of the city hall, so I don't know, they might still be in that building. I'm not sure, but all the city government and everything moved out to another building that they remodeled from an old grocery store right down there behind the new Chick-fil-A. Yeah. And yeah, so kind of miss it. Kind of miss the small town thing. Since I'm employed at Walmart, I could probably transfer to that Walmart or one nearby. Probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. So who knows? Might go back, might not. But anyway, let's get back to the Warner thing going with the Kenyan trucking thing going on. They're doing some serious damage control because they're getting ate up on social media. I got the story here from Freight Waves. Let's see. Can I do this? What store number am I at? 3309. Let me see if I can do this. I gotta click on this right here. Oh, there it is. I think that's it. Yeah, the store 3309, Jacksonville, Florida. They have it. I was watching a thing the other day, this map thing where they had all the Walmarts from 1972 when the first one opened there in Arkansas. to the day, and there's like, well, they got 6,000 or something of them. It's crazy, man. And here it is. Werner faces social media storm over Kenyan driver rumors. Company's home state did sign a Kenyan economic cooperation deal, but the truckload carrier isn't part of it. Werner Enterprises at the center of a growing social media uproar after online rumors claimed the Nebraska based trucking giant was possibly planning to hire Kenyan truck drivers. Rumors the company firmly denies. Well, you were there at the meeting, I think. I don't know. As can be the case with trying to explain what is driving a social media frenzy, understanding the moving parts in the Warner Kenyan story can be head scratching. But for Warner, it is facing numerous social media posts accusing it of hatching a plan to hire truck drivers from Kenya and have them operate in the U.S., presumably at the expense of U.S. based drivers. Warner took the unusual step Tuesday of putting out a statement on X denying that it had signed or even discussed a plan for the recruitment of Kenyan truck drivers in the United States. Now, here's that post that was on X right here. Let's see, Warner Enterprises wishes to clarify that we are not involved in any agreements or discussions regarding the recruitment of Kenyan truck drivers to the United States. Any claims suggesting otherwise are just false. That's right. Tackling controversies is not the usual offering of Warner's X feed. What? Recently, the company used it to celebrate both National Grandparents' Day and National Read a Book Day. Wow. Now, I don't know if you all know the story about the Kenyan when I was with Epps Transport. I was a driver trainer. And my first trainee was a Kenyan. He was over here legally and everything, as far as I know. I don't know if they would have hired him if he wasn't. I don't know. Maybe they would have. But he was a young kid, early 20s, and just graduated from truck driving school. Which one? I don't remember. It's one out of North Carolina. It was around, I don't know which one. But, they got around to training for a while. And, of course, I get him. And, man, it was very difficult. I mean, he was smart. He could speak English. His accent was kind of hard to understand. And, English over there is different than American English with our phrases and our whatnots. Like you tell him, don't ever run a stop sign. He couldn't understand what that meant. How do you run a stop sign? Or don't, when you pull out of the dock, make sure you take the chalks out or you're going to run over the chalks. What do you mean run over the chalks? What does that even mean? He's going to run over the chalks. Roll right over top of them. Oh. You understand stuff like that. And he could drive. It was kind of hard to get him to get all the gears right, but it did take a week or two where I felt comfortable, him driving longer. I never went in a bunk with him driving or any other training driving for that matter. I wasn't a team trainer driver like that. And but he had one major downfall. He could not understand the concept of mile markers, exit numbers, or exits at all. Like we'd be going somewhere and say, okay, just take I-95 into Virginia, get off at exit whatever 62. I think that was exit to our yard there in Richmond or Chester, Virginia. 61 or 62. Just take exit 61, turn right, go down, next light, turn right, and there's a yard. All right, so I wouldn't say anything. He'd be driving. We get closer to the exit, and I'm seeing if he's, looking, getting ready to turn or something. We get up to exit 61, right on by. I said, "Where are you going?" He'd go, "Huh?" That was his favorite. Huh? I said, "Didn't I tell you like 2 hours ago you had to get off at exit 61 and take a right?" What? Yes, I said, "Come on now, you remember me telling you that?" And he would just wasn't reading the signs or didn't concept how the signs were worded or something. So I ended up, I don't know, I was debating back and forth because he could drive. He just had. I tried to work with him and all that, how to read the street. He couldn't comprehend it. So on the last day, we're up in District Virginia, up at Food Line, chopping a trailer. It was on a Friday. I had to take him back to the yard in Greensboro, and I still hadn't passed him, failed him, or anything. I was debating. I said, well, I'm gonna go ahead and pass him. Maybe he can work on the signage, that find his way around. That was kind of early days of GPS and GPSs. Some people had them, but they were expensive, and a lot of people were still using the road maps like I was. So I didn't have a GPS, and so he's gonna have a hard time, but I think he can do it. So I got there was a Wilco Hess right out from District 10 down there by 295. Everybody used to stop at. So we stopped in there, got some lunch, got something to drink, whatever. Let's go back to Greensboro. So I'm gonna start heading back to Greensboro. He was driving, I was riding. I said, okay, turn right, get on 295 south, loop around till you get to 85 south, stay on 85 south till we get all the way to Greensboro. You know where to go from there. And he goes, you know something? I'm about tired of you telling me what to do. I said, oh, really? So I said, well, hit 295. Do you think he hit the exit for 295? No, he didn't. We had to go all the way down 460, make a U-turn, come back around. That 460 is a 4-lane highway down to that, so it's legal to make a U-turn. Come all the way back, and that was a quiet ride all the way back to Greensboro. But I made him stay behind the wheel. We didn't stop rest areas or nothing. I got him to Greensboro. The training officer said, the safety officer said, what's the deal? I said, I can't do it. I can't do it. He can drive. He can do all the other stuff, paperwork, logbooks, but he cannot find his way around. He cannot read. He's not reading them. He can't read them, or he don't comprehend them. I tried. I worked with him 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever it was, and he just can't do it. Then on the way home or the way here, he got nasty with me, tell me he's tired of me telling him what to do. And I failed. I said, okay. He said, okay, that's all I need to know. It's up to you. You're the trainer. If we don't feel comfortable with passing him, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We got it from here. I said, all right. So they said, good job. It's all right. I need about a 2-week break before I get another student. Can you do that for me? He goes, yeah, we got you. We don't throw students right back after you get rid of one. We'll get a couple of weeks or whatever. Ask if you're ready. Okay. So anyway, I come to find out, I think they put him with another driver, another trainer after that for the next week or two. And I guess he couldn't. The trainer just said, this guy ain't no good and didn't pass him. So I guess they didn't end up hiring him after all. They let him go. But man, that was for my first trainee, all the ones after that were easy peasy compared to him. He was difficult, very hard. Anyway, I don't want to change it there, so let's go back to the story. Nebraska trip by Kenyans last year. Based on the various social media posts about Werner and Kenya, what does appear to have set off the controversy begins with a 2024 meeting Werner held at its headquarters in Omaha with economic development officials from Kenya. See, that's probably where you going wrong there, Werner. In a story from June 2024 in a news service called the Kenyan Diaspora, it was reported that a Kenyan official, Diaspora Principal Secretary Rosaline, here we go, Nyogu, had led a delegation on a business related visit to Omaha, Nebraska, where Werner is headquartered. The article contained a picture of Werner representatives at the meeting with the company's logo on the wall. The name of the Werner representatives were not mentioned in the article, which did not include any quotes from Werner representatives. Well, that's probably where it's all coming from. The article did quote Nebraska Secretary of State Bob Efnin. I've seen a little news release from him earlier, and he's clueless. Who was at the meeting that's saying there are tens of thousands of truck driving jobs that are open at any given time. Now, this is a guy that believes in the fairy tale myth that there is a truck driver shortage. There is no truck driver shortage. The shortage is trucking companies paying what truck drivers deserve. There's the shortage. The Kenyan delegation's trip did some local news coverage as well. And while the local media reported Evan's comments about tight truck driver availability, it did not quote Werner. Fast forward to the first days of September, and Evan was in the news again in regards to Kenya. In an article dated September 4th and published on a website entitled Kenyans, Evan was reported as having attended the Kenya Nebraska Agricultural Trade and Investment Conference, a conference in the capital city of Nairobi. What? I bet you he went to Nairobi on taxpayers' money. Who wants to bet? At that conference, Evan signed what the website called a landmark deal between Nebraska and Kenya, formerly titled a Labor, Mobility, and Diaspora Support Memorandum of Understanding MOU. What? The article contains a picture of Evans signing the deal along with Nyogu, whatever you say that name. And while Werner is not mentioned in the report of Evans' remarks, the trucking industry is discussed. Disgust or disgusted? Anyway, hold on, time for a coffee break. What do y'all think about this so far? Is this crazy or what? Are we still on the air? Am I still on the air? I think so. Everybody fell off. That's okay. We'll keep going. Causes the replay. Catch the replay right here on PaleriderTV. TV. According to the article in Kenyans, evidence said Nebraska carriers have begun to hire Kenyan drivers. The article also quotes evidence as saying, we have commercial truck drivers already who are being trained partially in Kenya, and then they complete their training in Nebraska. What? Let me repeat that. We have commercial truck drivers already who are being trained partially in Kenya, and then they complete their training in Nebraska. No, that is not good. That should not happen. Without quoting anyone directly, the article then says this initiative is in direct response to a pressing shortage of commercial drivers in the United States, particularly those operating tractor trailer combinations. There is no shortage of commercial drivers in the United States. They're slick Evan also is official referred to in the story's headline. American official hails Kenyan talent. Talent opens paths for Kenyans to get jobs in the U.S. Wow. On a website called Kenya Insights, an article by Annabelle Makawaya was more explicit on the impact of the MOU. The deal explicitly targets licensed commercial drivers and been a significant shortage of truck drivers across America. Evden confirmed the high demand for skilled drivers in the state and emphasized that the agreement provides an organized legal pathway for Kenyans seeking employment opportunities in the U.S. This was not Evans' first trip to Kenya. He led a trade mission to the country in February 2024 before the delegation's trip to Nebraska that included meeting Werner. Oh, wow. Nebraska's Secretary of State weighs in. A spokesman for Evans said in an email to FreightWaves that MOU is stated in general terms and says nothing about truck drivers. What? The MOU requires full compliance with all Nebraska and federal laws, and that includes the president's executive order on CDL drivers requirement and U.S. immigration law. Thank you. Thank you very much. In a prepared statement, the Secretary of State's office said the primary focus of the trip was mostly agriculture. Come on, dude. Now you're retracted. A prepared statement the Secretary of State's office put out after the trade mission said the Kenyan trip was Evident's sixth such trade mission trip to a foreign country since he took office in 2019. It was his second trip to Kenya. A list of companies that attended that trade mission notably did not include Werner, but it did include Grand Island Express. Yes, here we go. A refrigerated carrier based in Nebraska. None of the reporting in Kenyan media about last week's Nairobi conference or the MOU or Evans' presence in the country mentioned Werner. Now, here's a possible root of the rumor. But it isn't a long road for some social media warriors to apparently perform this logic. Werner met with a Kenyan delegation last year. Nebraska officials just signed a cooperation deal with Kenya over labor training and opportunities in which a leading Cornhusker state official talked about training Kenyan truck drivers. Werner is in Nebraska. Ergo, Werner is looking to hire Kenyan truck drivers that presumably would take jobs away from Americans. Beyond the posting on X, a spokeswoman for Werner released a following statement to FreightWaves. In May 2024, at the request of the Nebraska Secretary of State's office, Werner hosted a group of dignitaries from Kenya as part of a standard trade mission visit. The conversation at Werner covered a variety of topics. However, there were no commitments made or discussions regarding a program for Werner sponsoring visas. The group visited multiple companies across various industries in Nebraska and held discussions, but there were no takeaways, follow-up discussions, or meetings involving Werner since that time. Whatever agreement the Secretary of State may have made during his recent visit does not include Werner Enterprises. Social media critiques of the cooperation between Kenya and Nebraska over the issue of truck drivers is non-specific, as the details of the MOU are not widely disclosed. Many of the critics don't seem to know about the MOU, but they otherwise fall into two categories. One is general criticism of any sort of arrangement that might bring Kenyans to the U.S. to work as truck drivers. That's right. Yes, that is true. That's all that story. What do y'all think about that one? Hiring Kenyans to come over here to work as truck drivers in the United States. Is it rumor? Is it live? Is it Memorex? Is it rumor? Or is the Secretary of State effing pulling our leg? What's going on there? I don't know. I don't know. Don't know. Crazy. I thought that's kind of interesting. Grand Ole Express. I understand it. Man, well, the Kenyans come here instead of truck companies hiring regular drivers, American citizen drivers, paying them a fair wage like they should in America, United States, or or, or hire Kenyans, train them for a little bit, tell them you can't quit until you pay this off, and barely pay them any amount of money, low wages, free labor, low wages. That's what it seems to me. Just pay American citizens, truck drivers, what they deserve to be paid. Come on, people. It's not rocket science. I know you're a business. Businesses look at the bottom line, but still, higher paid drivers, well paid drivers, are happy drivers. Most of them, anyway. Most of them will stay there. Look at Walmart. They pay their drivers quite well. And it's hard to get on Walmart. Very hard. Somebody probably has to retire or pass away before you get an opening for a driver at Walmart. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. One of these days, I might get rid of this crap. Now it's just crud in my chest, coughing that up in my head, draining. It's not draining, it's just my nose ain't running this week. It was last week. We're doing good, doing better, doing better. So, what's the temperature outside right now? 75 degrees here in beautiful downtown Jacksonville. I'm not in downtown, but I'm close. I can go out to the main street out here and look south and see the buildings. Some of the buildings. Let me show you some of these backgrounds I got made. This is one building. This one shot. That's the Main Street Bridge. I live off Main Street, but it's further north of town. Up this. Let's see. When we start going up this way, go this way north. This is looking south. South. That's looking south. It's nighttime with a reflection of the St. Johns River. There's a Main Street Bridge again right there. One of the many bridges around here. I don't know how to cross that bridge. I go that way to work. I go this way to work, but there's a lot of red lights once you get downtown. So I go a different route. I cross another bridge called the Hart Bridge. I cross that to get over there to the other side, the south side where I work at. Now this is a better picture of the Main Street Bridge. This is an old drawbridge. You see the things here. They get a big ship coming under, and they lift up that part of the bridge right there. It goes up. Hopefully, you're not back in traffic waiting on that bridge. It probably might, depending on the size of the ship and the speed they're going, it might be 20 to 30 minutes waiting for that bridge to open back up for vehicular traffic. Here's another nighttime picture. That's another bridge. I'm not sure the name of that bridge, but that's one they always keep lit up. There we go. There's another thing of the Main Street Bridge right there. Nighttime shot. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. And I think this here is Jacksonville Beach. The pier, pretty much. I've been out there. I think I've been one time I've been out to the beach. I didn't even go to the beach. I live near the beach. Don't even go to the beach. That's crazy. Crazy. And another background here. This is another, just some palm trees. I don't know where that is. And another nighttime shot. That's one I just showed. But, yeah. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, I guess. I don't know. Well, I was moving back to Arkansas. Somebody asked a while ago. Don't know yet. Probably not, but you never can tell. I just, man, the winters up there are brutal. I mean, they're not as bad as, some northern states, but it's bad enough there in Arkansas. You get all that wind and cold air coming off of Oklahoma and all the flatlands over there. It's like, what the heck? Springtime is tornadoes. Fall and winter, it's ice, snow, cold temperatures. Coldest it got here last year, I think, was down in the 50s with the wind. And it's chilly out in the wind. And but ain't that bad around here. Not that bad. So I think that's gonna be about it. That's where everybody go. Everybody fell off. I don't care. We're gonna keep it. It's gonna take a while to get back to where we were. So yeah, let me see. I was wondering if I still had audio or something. Why by that? Who knows? But anyway, catch the replay. If you hear, you want to catch the replay of the whole thing, go check it out. Check out my latest video about the Love's tanker truck out in the median. Hey, we don't need no stinking tow truck. He got out. Yeah, I shouldn't say that. Go watch the video. You find out if he got out or not. I'm not sure. Let's see. We're going to play a little closing song. One that we used to close the live streams on. Can't play the video the song went with, but I can play the music it went with. That's for sure. I got to get the paid version before I can play any outros and intros. I might go record the video on my phone and upload it over here, or I can play it as an outro or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. All right. That's it for now. So appreciate everybody watching. Everybody have a good day and stay safe.